And we're here for you whenever you're ready to deal with your problem.
I think he's addicted to money, man.
Addicted to money? That's,
no, it could be a thing. I mean, he's got more than anyone else. He's got almost 50,000 net worth.
Yep.
50,000.
Yep. That's happening. Roshan back to being the center of attention. We're 4 minutes out, ladies and gentlemen. So 4 minutes, you got enough time to run out, see if the secret shop line isn't that long. Yeah, there are people who could have waited in the first day's secret shop line in the time this game is gone.
Yeah.
Remember that line?
I
was a
do
long
remember
line.
that line.
That was a long line.
There was also a massive line upstairs as well for the signings.
Oh, yeah, I knew a little bit of something about that.
Yep.
That was a fun day. Fun day.
Oh, the actual longest game, 96 minutes and 27 seconds.
96 minutes, and that's in all of professional Dota. So we might have a chance. Yeah, we're less than 10 minutes away from cracking the all-time record for competitive Dota 2. And shout-outs, by the way, to our stat staff. Of course, Bruno and K-Poptosis and the...
They're helping us out, man. They're giving us stuff to talk about because, honestly...
Because, I'm so sick of clicking on these freaking heroes. I'm so sick of it. I've seen their items.
Hold on. Okay, Razor, he bought a Demon Edge, right?
Uh-huh.
Is it going to be a Rapier or is it going to be a Daedalus?
It better be a Rapier.
I'm thinking Rapier.
We got Boots of Travel up on the... He's making his way to the secret shop. Do it. He's not going to do it now because he's going to want buyback.
Nah, you don't need buyback. Do it. He's thinking about it.
Oh, he phased Boots. Got excited. He ran towards the shop and phased Boots away because he knew he was tempted. This is what this has come to. We're watching Super run in circles, and it's the most interesting thing we've seen on screen in about 5 minutes. Hey, the Druid gets a Daedalus. And hey, going back to that ancient Cam. You know what? Who I really feel sorry for? The people who this is the first game of Dota they've ever watched. They have no idea.
What is this game? No one's doing anything.
Why does that big dude get so excited whenever they go and kill the rock guys? What the hell? But yes, if this is your first game of Dota, we are all trolling each other. Like, it is palpable how much Kappa is in this room right now. It is palpable.
Oh, DK. They're in IG's woods right now.
Here we go. IG, they're at least on the same quarter of the map. They're in the same quarter of the map.
Okay, so I want to put on record, it's been about 25 minutes, maybe even 30, since MMY has had a spell. Like a stolen spell. He hasn't had one the whole game. Honestly, you say you're frustrated for people who haven't watched Dota before and this is their first game. I think being a support in this game is probably a nightmare.
You're just running in circles, dude. Yep.
I think you guys are a bit off.
You're a little ahead, guys. See, like, they're trolling
if you
each other.
just keep saying 5 and then count down when the clock starts moving, it'll probably work.
Oh, hang on. Oh, we're gonna have a smoke.
Uh-oh.
And the fight, finally we're gonna have a fight. There we go, Ult's dropping, the BKBs are up. We're gonna see Ferrari locked down. Zoe, there's it stolen again. Zoe locked down and taking all the damage. Time lapse is out of it. Burning's in trouble. Burning's gonna end up dropping. Zoe tearing through this lineup. Buybacks immediately out. Just as Roshan responds. We get our first dose of action in a long, long time. They're going to move into Roshan, and this Roshan is going to die very quickly. There's the Song of the Siren, and Chuan trying to buy his buddy time. There it goes, Weaver.
He's got the rapier still.
Picks up the Agents of the Immortal, and here we go. Super's going to come in. They're going to try to lock down Zoe. Black Hole! No faith! Swapped him out. They're going to reinitiate Zoe. Again locked down. He loses the Agents. YYF doing what damage he can. We're going to see OD forced out to the high ground. MMY being chipped away. Zoe's hexed. Can they clean him up? Astral Imprisonment tries to buy him time. Chuan is going to end up down. Now Zoe. Rapier's on the ground. Burning has the rapier. DK making it all worth the wait. 91 minutes in, and Burning fills out the last slot in his inventory with the item we all wanted to see him have, a Divine Rapier.
Oh, man, he's going to sacrifice his bear, though they're going back in.
Oh, here we go. Zoe going toe-to-toe with him. Can they keep him locked down? Zoe's taking so much damage. He's down below a quarter health, and he's going to time-lapse. Burning now will be cleaned up. Who got it? Who got it now? Zoe, no, it's on down again. And YYF, not the one that picked it up. It was.
He picked up the treads.
He picked up the treads. It's MMY. And now, where'd the rapier go? It's on the ground. It's on the ground. Yeah, ping that out. Who's got room? Ferrari does. The Force Staff. What sacrificed? And I don't think there's any doubt about it. 92 minutes in, the rapier dropped, reclaimed, dropped, reclaimed, dropped, and reclaimed. We are going to see history. The longest game of professional Dota 2, barring some miracle.
I can't believe this. Like, this is insane.
Read that.
Yeah.
Most gold ever farmed. Amazing. Just amazing. Phenomenal.
Well, I do want to point out the first fight that actually happened, because whenever we have fights in this game, they actually last for like 5 minutes.
Yes,
because
exactly.
Every single person has buyback. It's like they killed RTK immediately. They hexed, popped him, forced him to buy back. They go for the Roshan, they get it, and they won a fight with a Weaver who had a Rapier and an Aegis. And then after that, they chase across the map, and IG pushing into the base. They're going to get the top set of racks.
Tier 3 down. Down goes the racks. The no buybacks on the Lone Druid or Razor. So IG casually walking across the map and making it even on racks. And now they say, oh yeah, we're going to farm your jungle. How you like that? Been sitting our base all day. Our jungle now.
They swapped the cheese as well. RTK no longer has it. It is Burning who has the cheese. Daedalus done on the Razor. So IG, man, that last fight, DK definitely overstayed their welcome. Like, Burning only had one bear left, and he had a Rapier, so he just went for it, and he had a Basher. Almost killed Zoe before the time lapse. He got like one bash, but he couldn't actually finish it. So yep. IG end up getting a little bit ahead there, and a little, I mean a lot actually, because getting a Rax at this stage in the game is a pretty darn big deal. So still, anyone can take this. That's the thing. But if you look at the gold, at least, there was a pretty big difference made up right there. The experience still pretty favorable for DK. But honestly, at an hour and a half into the game, like, that much experience doesn't seem that bad.
You see these graphs? These are things that don't matter anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, these fights don't, nope, doesn't matter.
These don't matter anymore. So we're not even going to worry about that. I should honestly just leave this up. Like, this is all I'm doing, clicking around. If I just stare at the Roche pit and leave this up, I think that about gives us the last 30 minutes of gameplay.
Oh, this is big. IG, they're moving on to DK's side of the map. This could be it. This could be the fight. The thing is, nobody has buyback except for the Windrunner. That is the only person on the map who can buy back, and he has bots. This push from IG is going to be pretty tough to stop. If Burning gets focused out, or if Super get focused down, they don't have enough damage to possibly win the fight anymore. So
there it is, the ultimate farmer. And how appropriate. In Burning's last appearance, in his last tournament appearance as a professional Dota player, the ultimate farmer, the man known as the ultimate carry, sets a record that I don't know we'll see eclipsed anytime soon. And of course, the only way to make it better is if he walks away with a win. IG, though. IG going to have some other things in mind. They did pull back, though, so not going to have it in mind now. By the way, I don't know the exact second. 96 minutes, you say. 96 minutes.
We're really close. We actually already surpassed the longest game in TI history, I think. We're like 2 minutes away from surpassing the longest game in history of competitive Dota.
Yep. We're closing in on it. It should be about 90 seconds if I'm not mistaken. It was 96 something unless I just am bad with numbers, which I am. That's why I play Dota and talk and yell at microphones for a living. But that's okay, because DK gonna smoke, make the way across, and Windrunner, you know, super hard carry. She is doing some damage, and Roshan gonna be back up very soon. DK, where you at? Where you at, Burning? There you are. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
The big problem here actually is that okay, let's just say, for example, during that last team fight, DK won the fight technically around Roshan with the Weaver having a rapier.
Yep.
With him not having the rapier anymore, having it on Ferrari is nice, but without Geminate, like, Geminate is so good for having a rapier because of how much extra damage output you get from it. Ferrari doesn't really have that. So not only is Ferrari easier to kill
There it is.
in a lot of ways, yep, there we go.
This is now the longest game in Dota 2 history. The former TI2 champions taking on the aspiring TI3 champions of DK. And it's been a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. Been a hell of a ride. Smoke them if you got them. I know I need to. 19-30, the current kill score, and they're going to smoke again. And here we go. They're just going to rush the racks. It's something they should have done a long time ago. Just rush down the racks. Don't worry about creep waves. Don't worry about slow pushing.
Man. Oh, IG look like they're ready for this, though. They're all running towards the top lane. They got some sixth sense right now.
They're thinking about it. Hang on. Is it going to be Ancients or is it going to be Heroes? Choose wisely, Burning. Choose wisely. He will. Turns out there's the Scythe of Ice, but a good force staff gets YYF out of harm's way. And got creeps to kill. Creeps to kill, gold to build. Yep, hang on. BKBs are up. Faith locked down. Watch him get blown up. No, Astral Imprison keeps him alive a little bit longer. Little bit of wishful thinking. He's going to drop immediately. Now buybacks matter. Faith does not have a buyback. Buybacks at this point on supports are costing $2,100 or 2,100 gold.
They're just going for the base.
And here we go. There's going to be a shackle on the bear. Black hole. Go YYF and Zoe, but no. It's snared out of it. Zoe, though, being blown up by Burning. Zoe's gone. ROTK will end up dropping. Burning is low as well. He's going to be hexed and cleaned up. Ferrari going to be hexed out. Do they have the damage? No. They absolutely do not. The buyback spent on the side of IG, and of course DK preemptively buying back to try to prevent the counter push. This is
bad. This is bad for DK. There's no buybacks on any of these heroes.
Just Burning and just MMY, who has been patient as hell and not had many spells to steal.
I think that might honestly be it. I don't think Burning can defend this by himself. He doesn't even have a bear.
And IG may have let what they did. They can't do anything about it. They're going to glyph. MMY is going to get blown up. Never had a chance.
Yeah, that's game.
IG answers match point with the longest Dota 2 game in history. The defending champions keep their run in the upper bracket alive in historic fashion.
Man, what a heartbreak for DK, I gotta be honest. They had that game, in my opinion. The one big thing is when they went in, they were never really able to get a proper black hole. Chuan was just in such good position the entire time. Every single black hole he was able to throw out a net. I think, honestly, if they had gotten him instead of the other heroes they were prioritizing, it would have been a completely different story.
Not often I'm going to get to say this, so I'm going to say it nice and slow. The official game time. 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 58 seconds. The final kill score, 25-32. My voice is hoarse. How about we throw it back to the gold brickers in the back who haven't done anything for an hour and a half now. James and crew, break it down as best you can, guys.
Thank you very much, AC and Draskell. So we're back just after watching the longest game in history for Dota 2. And we just talked so much about things DK could do, things Zhao could do. I know we're going to go to Casey potentially with if it was a win and interview, she might be speaking to Vlad, but I'm sure we'll get into game number 3 as soon as possible. But let's talk about things that they could have done.
Things that could have been done?
Yeah.
So, like you were pointing out, when Zhao was sitting on 10k gold, he could have bought another Divine Rapier, left it in base, and when he died, bought out, picked up the new
Insurance
Divine,
policy.
gone back to fighting. He could have sold his power treads much earlier, replaced it with a Daedalus. That's what IG could have done. What DK could have done, they had like a wide...
Yeah. My one, well, I think you guys came up with the same one, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted them to basically, when Roshan was spawning, pick up Boots of Travel prior,
Exactly.
send in familiars all the way around the outside next to the throne where there was tier 4, and just backdoor it.
Definitely.
And just bait IG to go into Roshan and just TP to the throne, and
'Cause
you can backdoor it.
The tier 4 towers were both dead, and
Yep.
there was no glyph up. So there was
Right.
like, even if IG reacted in time,
There was no.
There was no time.
TP. There was only one TP that they were carrying, and it was on the Windrunner at the time. And later, Windrunner didn't have a TP. But
So
yeah, we can see some of the
Here
crazy
we're going to
fights.
see this amazing, the Aegis drop. Here he's going to, Joe is caught up here. He's going to lose the Divine. First of all, he loses the Aegis. And now everyone's trying to run away. The Divine is still on Joe at this point, but he gets shit immediately after that. Now look how fast he's losing life. OD trying to save him. There's a little bit of a way there, but Joe just falls away. The Rapier is now on Burning. But everyone buys back, and I think the team fight is going to go on. Because right now, DK comes back, Burning, trying to fight Joe. Joe doesn't have that much damage, but there is OD still. And Ferrari, with the ultimate and with his right click, kills. The Aegis drop, the Divine drops again. And this is the funny part, which is when someone drops the threads, and YYF, instead of grabbing the axe, he grabs the other person's threads, which doesn't really work. Here it is, you can see the threads. Wonderful YYF.
I feel like that this one was a really big turning point of the game where they gave back the Rapier to IG. I think that they also could have done like a slow siege on top lane. I think that they could have just used the BKB on the bear and just straight up kill the Rex. They used Glyph, just back off, wait for BKB and go again. It just got constantly sheeped. It got shackle shot a couple of times, and they were forced to back even with the Aegis advantage. I think Burning probably could have bought a refresher too for 3 bears instead of just 2, because that was really the limiting factor for the 60 to 80 minute point of the game. And they really couldn't get that Rex. The T3 tower was down for the longest time. They could have easily smoked and done any sort of shenanigans. That 5-minute glyph cooldown at the end is just so incredibly long.
yeah, they were lacking creativity, definitely. I'm actually a bit surprised that they chose to push at the end when Razer didn't have a buyback. They spent 100 minutes stalling the game, making sure that nothing that could make them lose the game would happen. And then they ran out of patience and pushed anyways.
Yeah,
Just seems odd to me.
it is odd indeed. You know, I was
just
checking.
yeah, go on, Bruno.
Sorry, I was checking a little bit about Burning statistics. Of course, he's renowned as the top premier farmer. I think he broke the record of most gold farmed in a game. But I was checking his stats on more than 65 minutes games. He's 0-4 right now.
Oh,
So
really?
as good as he is at farming, if the game gets too long, he just can't deliver.
He farms too fast.
Yeah, it
He's
is.
6-slotted before then,
Exactly.
unless
You
it's
know-
Lone Druid.
You know what I want to do? I'm actually going to do it. When I go back to the hotel tonight, I'm going to rewatch this game with the Korean commentators. It's going to be amazing. Because you get all that excitement, and I want
You
to.
have a good night.
Hey, AC and Dress School.
No,
They
no
did
disrespect
they
to
pulled
them.
through.
They're also, but their storytelling, I don't know. I just want to see that excitement because they bring something. It's amazing. Since they were appearing in the Nexon Starter League, these Korean commentators are the rage. And if I have to watch one game of them, this is the one I'm going to watch.
Okay.
I'm just so upset as you said about DK. I don't think they were creative enough at the end. Like it was
Yeah.
like our bear goes in, okay, gets shackled, it gets hit down by Ferrari on the OD. Oh dear, what do we do? And IG were very good in terms of just being ready to make sure that they were, warding and sending out the Naga Siren with a gem on the illusions, etc. That was nice. But the familiars for me, if they did the familiar boots of travel,
I mean, they could have even split push, just like what Alliance did. They had 4 man on bottom, and then they had the Nature's Prophet up top. They didn't do that at all. If they can just get Enigma to bait a couple spells, the Vengeful Spirit has to be there. No Lincolns on him either, that you were talking about.
yeah, but like even familiars actually getting some damage on the racks
Right.
and the towers, it's viable, especially
Yeah.
when you've got Ag Scepter. Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to chase them down every time? No. And if they do chase them down, and even if they kill them, you get their jungle, their ancients, and that was quite crucial at the end when IG were actually able to leave the base. So
That's the other thing. The throne doesn't have backdoor protection anymore. That's big. So you can just send familiars every couple minutes just to chip away and chip away and chip away, and that would have worked as well.
I think they could take some coaching from Fnatic in Red Dodo.
Yeah.
Be good.
I'm going to apply for their coach and then take a percent because we're at 1-1 now.
We are at 1-1.
This is just the prelude to Game 3.
Yeah. So obviously I'm being told nothing in my ear because I'm only assuming that the players are
I'm taking a break.
taking a break.
Absolutely.
So actually, I'm going to cough. They actually are sat down and they are in the booth, but the game's not
I'm going to ask, actually, you three, because you two were pro players, and James was a pro player in another game as well.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he kind of was. He was more or less. But I mean, normally, what happens with you when you get through a really long game? Like in your case, it was a different game length, but when you go through a long game and you have to play again,
You come up with a strategy that surprises your opponent and you change your play style up. For example, out of my pro gaming career, I played a very defensive team in Quake Team Deathmatch. No one was attacking around any corners.
Right.
So I took one person just before the game finished, and I went into their side of the map, like a solo commander, cool guy. I had and I stole their battle suit, which was their Aegis or their power-up. We had one as well. And as soon as I stole their power-up, I jumped into the void and suicided. I respawned with my team. We took our power-up and we beat them. And it was the boringest game, the most boring game until the last 2 minutes, because no one could attack each other.
I see.
There we go. That's what you do. You have to do that. You have to get your opponent into a mindset if they think they know what's coming, and then you throw in a curveball. Well, and that's how DK could have won as well.
I think the losers of the game, DK, have to just clear their mind. They can't be like, oh, we could have taken the throne down at this point. We could have held our rapier. We could have not pushed it. And they have to just clear their mind. Don't think about the last game and just go in with a fresh new start. Fresh new heroes, hopefully. But
I also think DK felt they were in Larsen charge throughout the entire game. I don't think that this will rattle them as much as we may think it will. Like, they're obviously depressed from it, but I think they can shake it off and go into the third game and be like, Enigma is still a good hero for us. Let's do it again, and have Burning Farm up and end the game before 65 minutes.
That sounds like a plan. I would like to see that.
Malk, you always talk about the element of surprise. Do you agree with me?
Yes, I definitely agree.
Because I felt really stupid telling a story about Quake on stream when everyone's in the audience.
I'm sorry, I should have backed you up.
And what?
Yeah, I should have backed you up. I definitely agree. I even bought the T-shirt. I'll bring it tomorrow. The element of surprise is everything in Dota. I'm very surprised that no one brings it out, especially in the loser bracket.
Well, maybe that was their surprise tactic, that they thought IG thought they were going to be surprised, so they were not going to surprise them.
Double mind games.
Is that surprising?
Whoa.
Apparently, we still need time for the game to start. So, Ben, how are you?
Well, citing the Tongfu Alliance game, that was one of the probably the longest game in the preliminary at 78 minutes. Tongfu, they should have won, which I felt like DK was in a similar situation, and then Alliance eventually came back and won. And then after that, Tongfu just lost in like 20 minutes flat. I hope we don't see a repeat like that, but it really does addle your mind a little bit when you come off a hard loss.
So, if you had to predict the winner for this series after DK just got a depressing loss?
I would say IG, just because the morale, I think, is a really big factor, and it's not something that you can really change. My rares are on DK, though.
I see in Goblin Techies, and I can't think of anything else. Now we see a Tusker, but above the Tusker, I swear there were Goblin Techies, which were really, really cool. There they are. Can't wait until they come.
Yeah, you can actually still purchase a compendium as well throughout the tournament, and there is a stretch goal where we get to request the next hero from Valve. And
do you like Techies, James?
I actually do, yeah. Like,
I'm a Techies lover.
Weren't you with me when we were playing Techies on the secret super beta version?
Sorry?
Weren't you with me the other day when we were playing the super secret beta version that had Techies in game?
No, Bruno, I was not there.
Oh, I wasn't there either.
Yes. Okay, we're going into Half-Life Game 3.
Yes.
Game 3. We didn't do that either, right?
No.
Okay, Game 3. Here it is. DK versus Invictus Gaming. Oh, this is the upcoming. The teams aren't ready yet. These are the next 3 games. I just heard 3. Team Liquid versus MUFC. Zenith versus Virtus Pro. And then hopefully there's a pub or something at the end of this. Which would be great. Oh, we actually are going to the game. See you in the game. It's going to be exciting. Guarantee it. Or money back.
DK versus defending champions IG.
And we're back live here on the floor at Benaroya Hall, and
Well, we had a long one. Game 2, it's kind of a big deal, kind of the longest game in competitive Dota history, and these people were a part of it with us, Draskell, and IG and DK nonetheless got to keep things rolling on here and try to find a way to fight their way into the next round of the winners bracket. We're all tied up 1-1, an absolute farm fest, two teams that like to take their time and be methodical, as we just had demonstrated to us about as clearly as could possibly happen. Looking ahead to Game 3. Can't wait to see what these two teams have in store, because I think at least one of them is going to try to surprise us.
Yeah, I would hope so. I think for DK, maybe the element of surprise could be to their advantage because he just had such a long, drawn-out game. Ideally, they probably would have won that game, but a couple of mistakes were made and ended up turning around in favor of IG. So now it's 1-1. You really don't want to drop the losers bracket yet because it'd still be a 1 if you go down. So it's really, really scary for you. So now if you're DK, I think it's time to pull out the stops. If you have something in mind that you wanted to pull out to keep yourself in the upper bracket, this is the time to do it. For IG, they're definitely riding a high, which is also dangerous because now you're in a position where they're feeling confident, they're back in their comfort zone. They were so close to losing that game, they lost the racks, and they come back. So if you're DK, you're kind of backed into the corner right now. I'd say let loose, just go for it.
Exactly. And, Invictus Gaming, a team that is certainly not short of playmakers. And this is the kind of game I'd like to see them just put into those playmakers' hands. Ferrari in particular. Give him a role. Give him a hero that he can do something with from the get-go. Let him break out of that mold. Like you said, these poor support players, I can't even imagine how happy they are to actually have a chance to look at another hero for a while. I mean, they did nothing in Game 2. DK going to go ahead and grab up the Weaver with their first pick. After banning out the Chen and the OD, the Bad and the Alchemist banned out by Invictus. We'll see what they want to get rid of next.
Well, the thing that's interesting to me is DK's style in terms of what we were used to seeing them pick earlier on, especially in the preliminaries when they played against Dignitas. We actually had a chance to cast that game ourselves, and they were huge proponents of the DK and the Chen picks, and now they're actually just banning out Chen themselves, totally ignoring DK. So the style, in a sense, has changed, but they've also shown that they can deal with that kind of a deathball strategy way back to Game 1. Seems like forever ago because we just casted a game that was darn near 2 hours long. But they show that they know how to delay. They know how to put IG in an uncomfortable position if they pick that kind of strategy. So DK, I think, are still feeling okay here.
IG taking their time, and again, we've seen a variety of. Weaver's just one of those heroes who's really surged to prominence, and for the longest time, up until a few months ago, he really just was a very situational pick. Then you had occasionally a team or two begin to use him, but he fits into so many different lineups. You can put him into a hard carry role, you can send him into an off lane. Hell, you can run him mid if you're confident about that matchup and you want to give him that much priority. But with DK again coming off of that loss, they're gonna go ahead and see a Darkseer and a Dragon Knight. Answer by Invictus Gaming, and it doesn't really get a whole lot more stable than what we see. I mean, let's be honest, since the latest patch that changed the draft order, the front 4 picks you can only feel out so much. I mean, a Dragon Knight most likely going to wind up mid. Darkseer is just kind of the do everything kind of a guy. Whatever you need him to do, he can. The Weaver very much fits into that, and we'll see what DK wants to pair up with him. Tree is available if they wanted to go something like that. Or if they just want to pick any kind of an aggressive lineup, we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, the thing about the Darkseer pick is it kind of makes Tree not as useful.
Right.
Just because even if you put a Darkseer in the off lane against a safe lane Weaver and a tri lane with a Tree, that Darkseer is going to feel fine. Like, he's not going to suffer at all. You would have to pick a support that's really good at punishing a Darkseer, like a Disruptor or a Shadow Demon, to compensate, to make him feel scared enough to where that lane's not going to give him free levels and experience. But DK, they're going to go ahead and pick up the Visage, so obviously a very strong hero in most cases. His really good support can be played aggressively, defensively, pretty much however you want it. IG, though, they get the DK. It's probably going to be mid. The Darkseer can do multiple things. YYS Darkseer is, disgusting, by the way. One of my favorite heroes to watch him play, so hopefully he gets his hands on that. And for DK, still, the options are pretty wide open. IG, we know that Dragon Knight's most likely going to be mid because, heck, people just don't put him anywhere else nowadays. So, still, a lot of options for both teams.
Tinker going to be the ban out from DK. And easy to understand why. I mean, you see, a Darkseer, a Dragon Knight, that kind of combination is a combination that can begin to push very effectively. So get rid of the Tinker, get rid of his push potential. No surprise to see IG is not about to let Burning get his hands on Anti-Mage. And really, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the next 2 bans coming out of Invictus are nothing but Burning bans. That's just what you do against DK. But, I mean, we saw in games 1 and 2, obviously. Game 1 going to DK, game 2, longest game in Dota history. And Invictus Gaming
walking away with the win there. But the reason it went so long, DK, they had a game plan they executed. In fact, they seemed to be unassailably ahead at one point after they brought down that central set of racks. But, yeah, so far, Tinker, Anti-Mage, only bans. Now, finally, the Gyrocopter going to be taken out by DK, and that makes a ton of sense. You don't want to have that